You know that feeling? When your space starts to feel like it's in charge, not you.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe it's, always hunting for that one thing you have somewhere. Or it's just that background hum of visual mess.
Yeah, visual chaos.
And for you, the learner, we get this isn't just about wanting a perfect looking home. It's deeper,
Right.
right?
Absolutely. It's about reclaiming some control, maybe finding more efficiency, more peace in your everyday life.
And it's interesting, isn't it, how that feeling of just too much stuff actually affects our thinking.
It really does. It
Mhm.
taxes our cognitive resources. It's sort of like having way too many browser tabs open in your brain.
Huh. Yeah, exactly. Slows everything down. Your focus, too.
Hmm.
So that's what we're tackling head on in this deep dive, that whole journey towards a clutter-free home.
And we've pulled together quite a mix of insights for you.
Yeah, we really have some practical blog posts, advice from pro organizers.
Lively forum discussions, and even the thinking behind, that really famous tidying method.
Right. So connecting this to the bigger picture,
Mm,
our aim isn't just about making things look neat on the surface.
not at all. Think of this as maybe a shortcut to understanding the key ideas and, well, some surprising angles on creating a clutter-free life.
Our mission, basically, is to pull out the most valuable, actionable stuff, the things that might actually shift how you think and act.
So you can navigate all this without feeling totally overwhelmed by the uh, the idea of decluttering itself.
Okay, so we're looking at this idea of having less stuff, potentially.
Okay.
Where do we even start?
Well, that's the first hurdle, isn't it?
It feels like maybe the first step isn't even about throwing things out. It's about defining what clutter-free means to you, personally.
That's such a crucial starting point.
Ah,
Yeah, our sources really emphasize this. What does clutter-free actually look like, feel like in your day-to-day?
yeah.
One source, Simply Plus Fiercely, makes a great point here. It's not necessarily about becoming a minimalist or having, empty rooms. It's much more personal.
Right. They suggest a clutter-free home is more about intentionally owning things you actually use, things that add value.
Exactly. Where your stuff has a purpose, a place, and, crucially, you feel good about it, not weighed down.
Your stuff supports your life, not the other way around.
Hmm. And building on that, Simply Plus Fiercely brings up this really useful idea. Figuring out your own personal boundary of enough.
Enough. How so?
Like, how many mugs do you really need? How many pairs of jeans? It's not some magic number everyone agrees on.
Okay. It's about self-awareness, recognizing when more just isn't better for you.
Precisely. Understanding that personal threshold can kind of free you from that constant cycle of getting more stuff.
That makes total sense. What feels right for one person could feel totally bare to someone else.
Exactly.
And Simply Plus Fiercely also brings up a big motivator. The actual stress and anxiety clutter causes.
Yeah, that's real. It's not just about looks. It hits our well-being.
That constant visual static, the mental energy of knowing things aren't where they should be, maybe feeling like tasks are unfinished.
Right. It all adds up to this low-grade, persistent stress. So defining your own vision of clutter-free is step one in easing that mental load.
Okay, so we start with our own definition, but then how do we figure out the root cause? It sounds like it's less about the stuff and more about the habits that bring it in.
That's a key point from Simply Plus Fiercely. They really stress understanding your personal clutter habits. Where does the extra stuff come from?
And maybe why are you holding on to it?
Exactly. Why are you keeping it? It's like figuring out your clutter fingerprint,
Becoming a detective in your own house.
sort of. And they suggest asking some really good questions while you're decluttering to spot those patterns.
Like what?
Like, where did this actually come from?
Mhm.
What was I thinking when I got it? Why have I kept it so long?
Mhm.
And maybe what's different now that makes me want to let it go?
Asking those questions over and over, I can see how that would reveal things.
Yeah, you start seeing the triggers, maybe emotional ones, behind why you accumulate things. For instance, like Simply Plus Fiercely points out, maybe you realize you tend to shop when you're feeling stressed.
Ah, the stress shopping connection.
Right. And once you see that, it opens the door to finding healthier ways to cope with stress, ways that don't involve bringing more stuff home. It's deeper than just don't shop stressed. It's the why.
That's a powerful insight. And they also touch on gifts, right? That can be tricky.
Oh, absolutely. Well-meaning gifts that just don't fit. They could really pile up.
Yeah.
And Simply Plus Fiercely points out, navigating that might mean having conversations, setting boundaries.
Or suggesting alternatives to physical gifts.
Exactly. Or just having a guilt-free plan for what to do with gifts that don't work for you. It's about managing the inflow proactively.
Okay, so understanding the why and the habits sets the stage. What about preventing clutter from building up again? There are some clever strategies in our sources for that.
Yes, and one big mindset shift from simply plus fiercely is what they call the trade-off mindset.
Trade-off mindset. Okay, tell me more.
Well, it's about thinking beyond just the purchase price.
Ah,
You start thinking about the other costs, the space it takes up, the time to clean it, maintain it.
the energy, maybe even the impact on your peace of mind.
Exactly, those hidden costs. When you factor those in, you make more conscious choices about what actually comes into your home.
That really changes the calculation on an impulse buy, doesn't it? Suddenly it feels heavier.
It does. And simply plus fiercely also suggests a really practical first step. Try borrowing before you buy.
Right. Check with friends, neighbors, family, or community sharing things, like tool libraries.
Yeah, exactly. It saves money, obviously, but it also stops you accumulating things you might only use once or twice a year.
Makes total sense for those occasional use items. Now here's one that seemed a bit counterintuitive. Simply plus fiercely suggests actually reducing your storage space.
It sounds weird, right? But there's psychology behind it. Lots of storage space can act like a buffer, letting us hang on to things just in case.
Ah, okay. So less storage space forces your hand a bit.
Kind of. By decluttering storage containers, or choosing furniture with less storage, you create natural limits. You have to make tougher choices about what you truly need and value.
Designing your environment to support the habit. I like that. And another great rule from them, know exactly where a new item will live before it comes through the door.
That's such a good proactive check. If you can't immediately picture its specific home, that's a big red flag. Maybe you don't really need it or haven't thought it through.
Right.
And a related bonus tip they mention, the power of clear, flat surfaces.
Oh, yeah.
Even if other areas aren't perfect, clear countertops and tables give this immediate visual sense of calm and order. It's like a visual shortcut to feeling tidier.
Okay, so prevention strategies are key. But what about the clutter we already have? That's where different methods come in, like the KonMari method, probably the most famous one.
Indeed. And its core idea, as the official site explains, is evaluating every single item based on it. Does it spark joy?
Spark joy. That's such a well-known phrase now.
It is. And it's a really positive approach, isn't it? You're actively choosing what to keep based on how it makes you feel, not just focusing on discarding.
And there's that element of gratitude too, right? Thanking items you let go of.
Yes, acknowledging their service. It changes the feeling around letting go.
I like that. Less like deprivation, more like curating. And KonMari also says tidy by category, not by room.
That's a crucial difference. Instead of doing your bedroom, then the living room, you gather all your clothes, for example, from everywhere in the house.
All in one place, wow.
Yeah, or all your books. It lets you see the true volume of what you own in that category. You avoid decluttering the same type of thing over and over in different rooms. You see the whole picture.
That makes so much sense. You really confront the quantity that way.
And the KonMari side also talks about committing fully to the process and really envisioning your ideal lifestyle first.
Exactly. It's not just tidying, it's aligning your space with the life you want, your values, your future vision. It connects the physical to something deeper. Now, one category that always seems tricky is sentimental items.
Oh, yes, the real sticking points. It's hard parting with things tied to memories or strong emotions.
No, so hard. Our sources have some good advice here, though. Southern Living, and KonMari too, suggest leaving those items until last.
Right, after you've built some decluttering muscle and gotten better at making decisions with less emotional stuff.
That makes sense. Build momentum first.
And Southern Living offers some really compassionate, guilt-free ways to approach them. First, just giving yourself grace. It's okay if it takes time. No pressure.
And being realistic about the actual space you have now, right? Not the space you wish you had.
Yes. Setting limits on how much you can realistically keep forces you to choose what's most significant.
And they suggest ways to keep the memory without the thing.
Exactly. Like digitizing photos, scanning kids' artwork, maybe services like ArtKeef can help there, or creating one memory box with just a few really key items.
That's a great idea for things where the memory is the main point. And they also say keep what's truly special. If everything's sentimental, then nothing really is.
Well put. And thinking about your why helps too. Are you doing this for your own peace now, or maybe to make things easier for loved ones later? That can bring clarity.
Good point. And a practical tip. Ask family if they want any heirlooms before letting them go.
Yes.
Okay.
Someone else might treasure it. And the big reminder, as Southern Living says, is that letting go of the item doesn't erase the memory or diminish the love.
Wow, that's
Mm,
so important to remember. Okay, so we're decluttering. Now, how does getting organized link up with sustainability? That seems like an important connection.
really is. And this is where Systems by Susie offer some great insights. They highlight how being organized naturally helps reduce overconsumption.
How so?
Well, if you know what you have and where it is, you're much less likely to buy duplicates or things you just don't need.
Yeah.
Organization encourages more mindful buying.
That makes perfect sense. An unexpected green bonus to being tidy. And Systems by Susie has some practical, sustainable swaps we can make.
Yes, really simple things,
Yeah.
like switching from paper napkins to cloth ones. And I even acknowledge, yeah, maybe the family pushes back at first.
Ah, real world advice.
Right. And using reusable snack bags, food containers for lunches and leftovers. Emphasizing dishwasher-safe, kid-friendly options makes it easier to stick with.
Definitely achievable swaps. What else?
Composting is a big one for reducing food waste. They even mention checking for local services, like Annapolis Compost was one example.
Okay.
And swapping paper towels for reusable cloths or rags saves waste, saves storage space too. They suggest having bins under the sink for clean and dirty ones.
Practical storage is key for reusable stuff.
They're finally using multi-purpose cleaners. Fewer plastic bottles, simpler routine, less clutter under the sink.
So, sustainability doesn't have to be this huge overhaul. It's about smart, manageable swaps that fit into an organized home.
Okay, so we've decluttered, we're organizing. Now, maintenance. How do we stop it all creeping back?
Ah, yes, the ongoing part. This is where routine cleaning habits are essential. Sources like Breaking the Lines, Martha Stewart, even Reddit forums all point to this.
Consistent, smaller tasks prevent big buildups of clutter and dirt.
Exactly. Breaking the Lines distinguishes between routine cleaning, daily, weekly, monthly stuff, and the bigger deep cleans. Regular maintenance keeps things from getting overwhelming.
And I like the tips from Reddit about cleaning as you go. Little bits here and there.
Yeah, microcleaning, wiping the counter right after you use it, rinsing dishes immediately.
That don't put it down, put it away. Rule seems simple but powerful too.
Incredibly effective. It stops clutter from even starting to settle.
It shows how small, consistent actions really add up over time. And Real Simple had that great idea of a 15-minute daily clean. Yes. The beauty is its flexibility. It makes cleaning feel less daunting. Like, Real Simple suggests you can use those 15 minutes for one room, one task like dusting, or just tackling whatever feels most urgent that day.
The key is just doing it consistently, even for a short burst.
Right, building the habit.
Right.
And Abundant Life with Less really hammers this home. Consistency beats intensity.
Yeah,
A little bit regularly is much better than huge, rare cleanups that feel exhausting.
totally. Like exercise, right.
Right.
Short, regular efforts are easier to maintain.
Exactly.
Okay, routine cleaning helps generally, but what about those specific places where clutter just seems to congregate, the clutter hotspots?
Yes. Balance through simplicity gives a good rundown of these. Usually high traffic areas, flat surfaces.
Or those out-of-sight places where stuff gets shoved.
Precisely. Kitchen counters, entryways, classic examples, right? Flat surfaces are clutter magnets.
Definitely. And the advice is usually about having designated spots for things and clearing those surfaces regularly.
Spot on. Bags, bedside tables, other tabletops are also prime spots. Emptying your bag often, keeping only essentials by the bed. Small things, big impact.
And the spare room, the unofficial storage unit.
Oh, I think we can all relate to that one. Resisting that urge to just hide stuff there is key. Have a plan for it instead.
Even the fridge and pantry can become hotspots with old food. Regular clearouts needed there, too.
Stairs, drawers, cupboards, wardrobes, garages, attics. The list goes on. The principle is always, does it have a home? Are you mindful of what's there? Do you clear it out periodically?
And they even mentioned digital clutter, right? Email inboxes, phone notifications.
Good reminder. That contributes to the mental overwhelm, too. It's not just physical stuff.
So true. Okay, wrapping up. How do we make these habits stick long term?
Abundant Life with Less has some great tips for sustainability here. One is ignoring trends. Focus on your lasting values, how you want your home to feel and work.
That makes sense. Don't chase the latest organizing fad. Make it authentic to you. And being really mindful about what even enters the home in the first place. Questioning those needs.
Exactly. Controlling the inflow is half the battle. And setting realistic expectations for your current life stage. Life happens, right? It won't always be perfectly tidy.
Especially with kids or busy schedules.
Right. And I like their tip about remembering past successes. When you feel discouraged, Think about what you've already achieved. It builds motivation.
That's smart. And having a dedicated donation spot makes letting go easier, more routine.
Definitely streamlines the process.
Yeah.
And the ultimate goal, they suggest, is that decluttering and organizing just become, well, more subconscious,
Hmm.
a natural part of how you live.
Okay, so pulling it all together, the key takeaways seem to be this is personal. Understanding your habits is step one. Proactive strategies are vital.
Methods like KonMari offer frameworks. Sustainability can be woven in. And routine maintenance is really the foundation for keeping it going.
And the goal isn't perfection, is it? It's about creating a space that works better for you, more functional, more peaceful, more enjoyable.
Exactly. A space that supports your life, tailored to your needs.
So here's a final thought for you, the learner. Maybe think about this. What's your single biggest clutter challenge right now?
Or maybe just one specific area, one hotspot, where trying just one of these strategies could make a real difference.
Remember, even small, consistent steps add up. They can lead to really significant, lasting change.
And building on that, what could a truly clutter-free life unlock for you? Think beyond just tidiness,
Yeah.
less stress, more efficiency, more calm.
It's about creating a home that truly helps you live the life you want, instead of getting in the way.